Anything.
I hit start.
When you moved it.
Okay then.
You ended.
No, this is not right. I hit it right at first. I'm looking a little strong now. um, it's different. It's real different. Yeah, because I had I had it when we were yeah, a little more even. Thank you. And then music. Oh, I like it.
Should be one.
I need to go live. Can you pull us up on your phone?
Mm-hmm.
You have it with you?
Yeah.
Cool. Hello. We actually logged on a little early, accidentally, but oh well. So who is with us? We never really know. As you come in, say hello, so we'll know who's with us. I hate that I have to lean it in so much. We might have to work something out. Yeah, we're trying to figure stuff out still. So we'll know who's with us. I hate that I have to lean it in so much. Ebony, hi. How are you and your family? Wow, you turn the volume all the way down. We are trying to figure ourselves out here. I wish we could see this screen much bigger. Can we?
I don't know.
Well, we said we would check on technical things before the show. That kind of didn't happen. But
is it possible to play with it? Like
hi, Soror.
without going live?
Kind of. Kind of. I don't know how to make this a full screen. I would have Googled it before now. But oh well. And just not see these on the side because we could have set a song there.
Okay.
All right. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
You seem a little sleepy or something. Like
I am.
What's
a little
going
sleepy.
on with you?
I'm just a little sleepy.
Why are you a little sleepy?
I don't know. I'm old.
We need
get
to.
tired.
This is not okay. I'm like I had this right. Okay, we'll just use it like this for now. Cool. You just leave it. All right. We're great. I'm so glad to see you. Wow. Okay, we'll just sit up there. Well, we are early, babe. That's good.
Yep, early is on time.
And so we are more than on time.
We're here.
Okay, you know what? No. If I could just hit pause and we start over because we didn't mean to hit start when we did. What do you need? You need to shake. What do you need to do?
No, I'm good. I'm getting settled in.
Okay, you're supposed to do that before we hit live.
Yeah, but live got hit like before.
Only 2
we're
minutes.
Supposed to go live.
You needed those 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, have your moment. Take your 2 minutes in 2 seconds. Okay.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome to Sippin Tea with Sally K, and I'm so honored to still have with me as a co-host Sir James Ivory Carter Jr. We just give you a little magic today.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I feel okay. How about you?
I'm doing well. This has been an amazing week. What say you? An amazing week?
It's been an amazing week.
Yeah.
Eventful. Lots of stuff going on.
So. Absolutely. A real historic week, actually.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're referring to.
I'm like, okay, so let's go ahead and jump in and let's do a temperature check. Let's see what is in your cup. Once again, I don't know what I'm about to sip on because you made it for me.
It is passion fruit tea with honey.
Passion fruit. Why did you pick passion fruit of all teas today?
I just thought it would be good.
Mm. So everything don't mean something. I think everything means something.
Well, I think
you just picked it just because.
I think everything has meaning, and
but there was no real reason to pick the passion fruit.
I just thought it would be nice to have passion fruit today.
I'm trying to lead you to probably say something I want you to say, but that's okay. Okay, it's cool. It's cool. Be true to yourself. You just chose passion fruit. Well, nonetheless, let me see. Oh, it's good. You put the right amount of honey. It is not too sweet. This is a good quality honey.
That's the good honey I got you too.
I could tell. Oh, this is about to be a good show. What's in your cup? What are you sipping on tonight?
Passion fruit.
Oh.
Passion fruit tea with honey.
So we're both sipping the same tea.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We have to be on one accord.
We're on one accord tonight. Okay, I'll take that. How about you? What is in your cup? What are you sipping on? What are you all sipping on? Let's see. What's the good honey? Chandra wants to know what's the good honey.
It's like Nate's raw, unfiltered, like organic honey. I got it at Walmart.
Yeah, it's really good. I am a tea fanatic for real. Like it's not just like I didn't just think of something for a show title. No, I really, really love tea. And people who know me know I love tea and honey. So, hint, hint, birthday, Valentine's Day. Any other day, just because. Tea, honey, tea. Nicole, your cousin Nicole Brie is watching. Hey, cousin.
Hey, what's up, Nikki?
From what? Tennessee?
I think she's in Springfield.
Illinois?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Hi, Nikki. How are you? What are you all sipping on tonight? So, seriously.
Do people even know to sip tea?
We do it every week.
Okay.
Should I say?
I mean, because nobody ever responds like I'm sipping. Like,
sometimes.
Okay. Y'all got to get y'all cups ready.
No, right. Finish.
No, I was just saying y'all need to get y'all cups ready so y'all can sip with us and then check in and let us know what y'all sipping on too.
What he said. I guess we probably during the week should encourage people and remind people. Probably.
Maybe.
But that's why we're looking to hire a media specialist that can take care of all those little fine details that we miss Monday through Saturday. In between living life.
Yeah, because I'm definitely not a stage director, lighting person, engineer, and we try to do it make it happen.
Yeah, it's fun. We just want to present well to the people because we love you all. Okay, so let's recap. So we are talking about 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. And last week we talked about which one, babe?
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation, the very first one. And I realized that we did not talk about the assignment at the end of the chapter last week. Hi, Kenny. Kenny, your boy Kenny Costa.
Hey, what's up, Kenny?
Now we just wait for the conversation. You know what, Lakeisha? I don't know what to say about her.
What?
My loctician.
Oh.
She keeps me on my toes.
Well, what did she say?
Something smart. That's who she is. But we didn't tell you all about the assignment at the end of the book.
Right.
Last week. And I think it's a big deal, and I think we should have. Because low-key, babe, we didn't know. I'm not going to speak for you because I'm sure you followed the instructions and did everything you were supposed to do. It is I that fell short.
Yes, it was all. No, I didn't follow the instructions either. So
Hi, Kenny. How are you? How are you? You and your lovely wife.
The
So
man.
the
Kenny the
man.
man.
Yes. So okay, if you have the book, there are 8 suggestions. But most people, we know good and well y'all didn't buy the book, did you? If you bought the book, say we got the book. Right. Y'all got the book. So that's okay. We got the book for you, babe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, look.
You wanna read them?
I want you to read them. I want you to start. You're the sir.
I'm the co-host.
That's right.
So you have to lead me into
So,
when it's appropriate for my input.
Sir. So will you please, as a recap, these are some things that you really should try. For the last week's topic of first love language was words of affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
And so these are some things that you can add to your toolbox, especially if you have a spouse whose love language is words of affirmation. We discovered that we both have a love language that's pretty high. Actually, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think mine is number 2 though. Anyway, we both score high in the love words of affirmation category. So we need to do this assignment. Yep. Okay, what's the assignment?
Okay, so it says if your spouse's love language is words of affirmation, number 1, to remind yourself that words of affirmation is your primary love language, print the following on a card and put it on a mirror or other place where you will see it daily. And it says emphatically 3 times, words are important, words are important, words are important.
Okay, translation, ladies. Yes, a cue card, a sticker, whatever it takes. Put it where you know he'll see it when he's combing his beard, because men don't shave these days unless they're shaving their head. Right on the mirror. What does it say, babe?
Words are important.
Words are important. Words are important. Okay, want me to do the second one?
Sure.
Number 2, for 1 week, keep a written record of all the words of affirmation you give your spouse each day. You might be surprised how well or how poorly you are speaking words of affirmation. I thought that was a bit like, man, it's like you're really keeping score. But
at the end of the week, it'll give you an accurate, total of how many words you put out there and actually how much thought, you put into articulating those words of affirmation.
That's true. Okay.
And number 3, set a goal to give your spouse a different compliment each day for 1 month. And if an apple a day keeps the doctor away, maybe a compliment a day will keep the counselor away. And you may want to record these compliments also so you will not duplicate the statements.
That's cool. Now, it can't be just like, oh, you look nice today, once a month.
Mm-hmm.
More in depth, something more intentional.
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, I would say so for 30 days, and I think that's the point of the exercise. You really have to be thoughtful about creating, a new statement or a word of affirmation for your spouse each day. So I see you come down the stairs, you had your makeup and your dress, and I'm like, oh wow, you dressed up, and then you look nice, So that's acute in the moment, but to come up with 30 different intentional statements, for the month, that requires some thought, and it's going to make you think about your spouse, and you really have to put in some thought to be creative and not duplicate, any statement for a whole month for 30 days. So
that's good.
That's a good challenge.
It is, and you have to be mindful and watch, right? Watch what your spouse is doing, because maybe it's something you catch them doing in the moment. Mm-hmm. That's good. Okay.
And number 5. Number 4.
Learn to say "I love you" or other expressions of affirmation in a couple of different languages. Oh, sir, what language would you like for me to learn "I love you" in?
Let's see. Well, Spanish is too easy. Let me see you say that one. How about Igbo?
I'm thinking you're gonna say something like French, the language of love. You went to the native.
Well, okay. Say
Okay, Igbo it is.
that was
Igbo.
my first one,
Okay, Igbo.
and then French.
Igbo and French. I respect that. Done.
What about you?
Well, I was simple. I was just gonna say, "Hi, it's fam is here." Fam said French. I'm thinking French as well. You know, listen. You can say "I love you" in Ebonics, honey, and I'm like, "Hey." I'm holding on to it. You know, listen. It's. I'll take it.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 5.
Yes.
Compliment your spouse in the presence of his parents or friends. You will get double credit. Your spouse will feel loved, and the parents will feel lucky to have such a great son-in-law or daughter-in-law.
That's good. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Because we want to see that our children are taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Look for your spouse's strengths and tell her how much you appreciate those strengths. Be specific. I like how you reach out to people at church who don't seem to have anyone to talk to, or you're really keeping up with the job search. I know it'll pay off. So being specific again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And number 7, occasionally email or text a note of affirmation during the day, or when one of you is traveling, or if you know your spouse is having a hard day, send a link to a funny website.
Nice.
And number 8.
Number 8, thank your mate for something they do routinely and won't expect to be complimented for. That's cute. That's cute, and that's a good one.
Yeah, because those are the things that people who, like, if you're doing something routinely, it can get taken for granted.
Yeah. I can think of so many things that you do, and I try to, I don't want to try to make it like I do stuff so great, because I don't. I know I miss the mark, but I do try to thank you for the little things: starting my car in the morning, heating up my food, without asking. You want me to keep telling you?
No.
The look in your face and be like, yeah. But it's true, it is true. Heating up my food, and I said I'm hungry and I'm coming home to get some leftovers of Uncle James green chili, with jasmine rice.
Shameless plug.
But seriously, I was starving. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop and get something to eat. And I'm like, no, I've got Uncle James green chili again at home, and it is delicious. And for me to walk in the door and it's already in the microwave, I appreciate that. And I started to ask, babe, can you heat it up? But my heart knew that you would. And so thank you for not letting me down. Thank you for being consistent.
You're welcome.
Which you so are. Yes, he did. Oh, hey, Mom. Mama here.
Mom in there?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Mom?
She made the live. My mother is here. Everybody knows Miss Emma. And if you don't, she'll make sure that you do. Because she will say, what's she going to say, babe? I'm Sally's mama. Oh, anyway. Oh, my cousin's here. Okay. The nice, complete, woo, child. Chili. Yes, Brandy. We'll talk about Uncle James's green chili. There's a commercial coming really soon. Okay, anyway. Okay, so we did a quick recap because it's really important that we incorporate the steps and the tools that we've been given through Gary Chapman. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Yep. So this week, quality time.
That's love language number 2 in the book.
Love language number 2, quality time. Quality time. Okay, sir. How'd you feel about this week's love language?
Well, it's kind of funny, but quality time is still about communication.
Mm-hmm.
And how your partner determines what's quality time to them. So let's just say, like, you want to hang out and watch TV together, right? So if we're watching the show and we're not really talking and, giving each other like full attention, but we're still doing something that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you wanted to talk to me, like in the book, it's like 20 minutes and the TV is on and I got my phone in my hand and I'm like going from the TV to my phone to you, like, I'm really not giving you quality time.
Right.
You know, so it's about being intentional and cutting off like all distractions and actually having, focused attention. And then they gave an example like if we go for a run, that's something that we do together. So obviously, if you're running, you're not going to be having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But doing stuff together, even when it doesn't require communication, still means we're together, we're on the same page, and we're doing something that we enjoy, and we're spending those 30, 40 minutes of our lives together doing what we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just one thing, when you talk about quality time, it comes in different shapes and forms.
Well, yes, and he talked about quality conversations,
Mm-hmm.
that focused attention. And for me, hi, Aaron. You know what? Can we stop because there are a lot of comments come up. So we want to take a couple minutes to recognize you all. So is that okay, babe?
Yep.
So we'll go back a little bit. I like how much you care for friends and community. That's a great one. Okay, so my fam is on here. Mm-hmm. Rhonda, to everyone else, or Judge Holloman, mm-hmm. to the world. She says a great example would be, I like how much you care for friends and community. And mm-hmm. that's something that I think people wouldn't even really think to recognize. Mm-hmm. But it's true. Somebody like you, Rhonda, you do care a lot about your community mm-hmm. and your friends. So can I say that to you, Rhonda? I really love how much you take care of your friends and your community. You are a true asset, and I love and appreciate you. And I know you didn't say that for me to say that, but since you brought it up, why not, right? Okay, go ahead. Who was Miss Emma? What she say?
She said, "Hello, Miss Sally and Mr. James. I'm watching you and enjoying your show. Love, Mom, Miss Emma."
Hey. Okay, Brandy said, "Woo, this." Wait a minute. She said, "Woo, this makeup's giving me live, Sally." Okay, back to so I tried to step it up, y'all. Each week I've been getting my face beat by Neek, my little sister Monique. I'm really proud of her. She's stepping out of her shell a little bit. So for right now, she's my weekly makeup artist. What do you think, babe?
I think it looks gorgeous.
Been going for the cat eye look.
The cat eye looks. No, I say more Cleopatra eyes.
Okay.
The gold and
you better come through.
And then like the extended corners.
Yes, I'm trying to do a little something for the people. Okay.
For the culture.
For the culture. Okay. Okay. Voting live. That's I love you. Oh, in Europe, cousin, you're gonna have to call and tell me how to say it. Monique. I'm not gonna do this on live. Sound a fool trying to pronounce this. You have to call me. I really want to know. She said that's I love you in Yoruba.
Oh.
Okay. Quality time. Momo, my cousin's on here. Is that your love language, quality time? And hi, Aaron. 5 love language. It really is everything. And I'm sure you use this book or the principles, Aaron, in your classes that you teach. All right. Okay. So we'll get back.
Mm-hmm.
Were you about to say something?
No, I was waiting on you to follow up on
the
quality time.
So reading this week stirred up a few things because, so according to the assessment, mm-hmm. and we both agreed, for me personally, words of affirmation and quality time seem to be a tie. But I really don't think, I think it's really more the quality time. And as I reflected, I really had to think about kind of my past. Mm-hmm. And he suggested to do that. He said, keep a log for about a week. How did you feel when you experienced different things throughout the day? Mm-hmm. So I started thinking about how I handled things throughout my life in the past. And it almost feels like I don't want to deduce my emotions and feelings to just being an emotion. But the reality is, it's like whenever I would have tantrums or just really be upset, mm-hmm. it's because I'm just going to keep it to our relationship. I wanted to be with you. I wanted to be around you. I wanted to hang with you. And it feels so stupid saying that. It feels like, yeah.
Why does it feel stupid?
When you don't feel like, maybe that's why the words of affirmation is in line with quality time for me, because if both aren't full at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
it feels stupid. Somebody help me with this. Like, it feels like, here I am, play with me, be with me. I want to hang together. I want to hang together. But if I'm not hearing the words of affirmation of, I enjoy spending time with you, I enjoy your company, then you know what I'm saying? So it's not balanced.
Or if I'm not reciprocating that I want the same.
Exactly. If I'm like, can we hang together today? You're like, oh, I'm going to work. Well, I really don't have to go to work, but I'm going to go ahead and go to work anyway because they need me. And I'm like, oh, but I want you. I want you. I want you. So this is me like, and now I'm always been a little tough. So for me to be expressing like that and not feel like it's reciprocated, it's challenging. So this is challenging for me. Mm-hmm. So look at me. I got to move in my seat. It's still uncomfortable. So while the words of affirmation are important, I believe understanding that right now my top two is a tie. So for me, they both need to be filled equally. Mm-hmm. I've always been a complicated chick. Y'all pray for my husband because he has to fill two tanks at the same time. It just is what it is right now. But it is, yeah.
Well, I mean that's one of the the things you have to traverse in life, like challenges.
Yeah.
And you can't control like what the world gives you.
Right.
In terms of like outside pressures, and then like you have no choice but to resort to, whatever your sources are that keep those different cups full. And it's me for you and you for me. So we gotta make sure that we keep a firm handle on all the cups, and when one of them is getting low, we gotta be close enough to kind of peek over in that cup and like, I need to top this cup off with a little bit more words of affirmation or quality time, or maybe you're into gifts at this point in time, and just keep the cups filled.
And learn how to communicate that they need to be filled, because when he talked about a form of quality time is, quality communication, quality conversations, I know that I fail in that area because I'll shut down.
Right. And I said that at the beginning, like, the whole quality time thing is really about communication too. So.
Yeah, it is. And then you hit on it earlier when you talked about quality activities. How, like you said, okay, just because you're sitting in a room together doesn't mean it's quality activities. Mm-hmm. I laughed when he described what is it, the babbling brook?
Yeah.
And the Dead Seas. Explain that to the members, the group out here who haven't had a chance to read it.
Okay, so the Dead Sea analogy is like something that takes in a lot of information, it absorbs, but it doesn't give anything back. Mm-hmm. So like the Dead Sea, salt, water, anything that goes in there, nothing comes out because that's why it's called the Dead Sea. It's not a living thing. So then you got the babbling brook, and the babbling brook hears and then says and tells everything it hears, everything it feels. Mm-hmm. So they're complete polar opposites on the spectrum of communication. So the Dead Sea takes in everything, gives off nothing. The babbling brook takes in everything and regurgitates it all too. So.
And it's so funny because even though he didn't put a gender to it, I felt like most women were babbling brooks because and let me tell you what happened and da-da-da-da-da.
Well, it all depends on what the subject matter is.
Oh, good point.
Right. So like the babbling brook, it was BROOK. That's another body of water.
Yes, it is. Not
compared to the Dead Sea, not the Dead Sea being a man and the babbling brook being like equated to a woman. I didn't get that. Mm-hmm. So I saw them both as two different bodies of water that had different qualities. And the Dead Sea speaks for itself, and then the babbling brook, and if you're out in the woods somewhere, you see a brook, it turns. Mm-hmm. It's always making some noise. You know what I'm saying? The babbling brook.
I guess in our scenario, I felt like I was the babbling brook. I'm not going to say you were the Dead Sea.
Yeah, so that's an I statement.
I'm not. Yes,
I felt like.
I. It's not. I'm not saying it's, across the board. That's a good point because if it's something like you said that you're really into,
I can be a babbling brook. Like if it's about sports, we start talking about social issues,
that's true. Uncle James Green Chili.
politics. Uncle James Green Chili. Shameless plug. Shameless plug. So I think people can cycle in between like being a babbling brook and like a dead sea, and even I think there's some gray area in between where there are certain things that you can kind of talk about, and then certain things like you don't really know how to articulate,
Mm-hmm.
so then you become a dead sea on the outside because you don't really know how to express certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I were to talk to you about like some stuff from my childhood, I could tell you like certain details, but then other things I really wouldn't know how to, so you'd be like, okay, so basically, what are you doing? And I'm trying to think about like how do I explain this? How do I talk about it?
Mm-hmm.
Especially things that you don't normally talk about. You know what I mean?
Well, I love the example he gave. He said, take a walk through each other's childhood neighborhood. I was like, whoa, because that would definitely spark interest and conversation and real connect. Don't do that.
No, we did that. You remember?
When did we do that? Well,
we was in Chicago. We got off the L. We got off on Lake Street.
Mm-hmm.
He said, no.
Some parts of your childhood. Some parts.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've taken you throughout some parts.
Okay.
And I just think like the idea of walking through your spouse's neighborhood and getting to see where they grew up and see the homes they grew in, if it's possible,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a real way of spending quality time. And it doesn't always have to be something that costs money. That was a great example of having a picnic at home, or planning a dinner at home. You don't have to buy it, you can make it, grilled cheese, just spending time together. I personally love when you and I cook together.
You do?
Why'd you say yes and then go, you do?
No, I mean, I know you like us to cook together,
mm-hmm.
but I didn't know you loved for us to cook together. Because we normally kind of like, do little. So if I'm cooking something in the kitchen, like I'm sort of cooking, and then like when you're cooking, I'll help with certain things, but like you have a certain way that you like want to do stuff
together.
Okay.
Man, I just love being around you. So soft.
We both blushing over here. Forgive us.
Listen, no, but it is fun. And it's like when you're making something and I'm your sous chef, I know to, not get in your space and sit back and watch, do a little something here and there. And it's the same with you. When I'm cooking, you know how to kind of, your ebb and flow,
mm-hmm.
Go turn my eyes down on the stove because you think I have them too high.
Mm-hmm.
Well, ain't nobody told you to touch my stove.
I'll be playing with the heat on you.
All the time. Okay. Let me see. My cousin Vice C. Brescia said, Dead Sea or affirmation. I personally can't relate to either. Is something wrong with me? No. But what do you mean by that? Dead Sea or affirmation? How is that an option? I wish we can bring you on the screen with us. I don't know how to do that. We said we would figure out some stuff.
Oh, you bring her in here.
It didn't let me. It didn't do it. What do you mean by that, Brescia? Dead Sea or affirmation? I personally can't relate to that. Yeah. I tell you how I feel. Okay, and opposite, what's the difference? I wish we can I don't know how to bring her in with us. Again, we're going to have to figure some stuff out.
Yeah.
So that we can in the future.
Like invite somebody to come in live.
Yeah. We don't know how. Okay. What do you say? You would never have to guess. Well, I still don't know the.
Well, okay. Well, she put affirmation, but it kind of sounds like she's saying, I will tell you, you never. She sounds more like the babbling brook than the Dead Sea. You know what I'm saying? If we're making, she's trying to find out where she is on that spectrum. So you will be more in line with the babbling brook, and an affirmation to her is a sign of being weak. Well, that's part of the magic of words of affirmation. It does require, it's not weakness, you know. So like the strongest weapon that God gave us is love, and there's nothing weak about it, but it's soft. It's tender, and it can disarm people. So it's not about being weak. There's strength in tenderness and gentleness.
Mm. So you're saying she said I'm not a cheerleader. So,
He's not a cheerleader.
mm,
Yeah, so you got to kind of think about like what you require, to keep you going, and like what once you figure out what your love language is, and then when you don't get that, how does it make you feel? And then like your husband, whatever his love language is, if he's not getting that, how does it make him feel? So it's really not about how I feel about what her love language is. It's still my responsibility to make sure that she gets it because that's what she needs.
what do you mean? I show you my love because if my love language is spending quality time with me, and his love language is, I would say, acts of service.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect, acts of service. So he may feel like I go to work every day, I provide for her, I do stuff for her, and she's not happy. I'm showing her love. But if I'm like, I don't care about that, I will, do stuff on my own or whatever. I want him to spend time with me, then it does not matter if he is showing me love because I can't receive it. It's not in my love language.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like saying, like when you had that conversation with your spouse or your significant other, and you're talking about what you want to eat, and my wife says, "I really have a taste for pizza,"
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, "Well, you know what? I hear that you really have a taste for pizza, but I'm gonna give you hamburgers,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna eat that."
And you like, well, I'm feeding you.
Yeah, I
I
fed
fed
you.
you.
You got food.
You
Like
got food.
we ate,
Yeah, it's
but
that.
but it's not what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, when we're talking about love languages and emotions and filling your cup up in areas, it's what you actually need
Mm-hmm.
in order to be happy.
Right. Yeah, and the thing is, in relationships, when you love someone, you it is about doing what they require for their happiness because you do love them and want to see them happy. So, well, cousin, you may not have time to stroke eggs.
Egos.
Oh, I thought you right. Duh, that would have made sense anyway.
We definitely want to stroke eggs.
You don't want to stroke eggs. You're right. That food analogy was on point.
Hey, what's up, Michelle?
Hey there. Um, yes, but when you're in a relationship, when you love someone, I mean, you do things you don't necessarily want to do, and what is required of that person may not be required of you. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it can be challenging. Especially people that have really strong personalities and
Personalities.
opinions,
Mm-hmm.
and strong stances on things. But over time, and I think as mature, adults, we tend to grow and develop, and we start to learn things about ourselves and about the people we've spent a lot of time with. Um, that you got to make some adjustments. You can't remain the same person you've been for the last 20 years and think that that's going to continue to work for you.
Mm-hmm.
People can be pacified, by certain things that you've done, repeatedly over time. But eventually,
Mm-hmm.
the rubber's gonna meet the road, and the two of you, me and my wife, or any other couple, are gonna have to make a decision, like to make some adjustments in order to keep the train moving forward and on the tracks going in the right direction, running smoothly.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's important. Let's look at a little bit at the quality conversations again, because in line with what my cousin is saying, you know, when I think about why this was difficult for me to talk about as far as quality time,
Mm-hmm.
it goes back to my own insecurity. And now that's a big pill to swallow, to acknowledge and admit that my frustration really didn't have as much to do with you as it does with my own insecurities. And so why, like you asked, why do you feel stupid when you express you want to spend time with me,
Mm-hmm.
right? That should be a no-brainer, no big deal. But I have to think about, what am I guarding? What am I trying to protect?
Mm-hmm.
Do Why do I still feel like I need to protect something emotionally when it comes to the two of us? There are some things that I need to look at within myself. And so I think I would suggest that for anyone, in relationships, just as individuals, we react to reactions. And so I think it's necessary to reflect on why we react the way we do.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of hit on that too when he talked about making a list of how we respond, to different things that
Mm-hmm.
go on in the week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, it's kind of like, if you're having a quality conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and what does that look like? How do you envision, the setup for, not necessarily set up like you got to stage it, but like a quality conversation, because that could be talking about something, totally benign, like
Mm-hmm.
flowers. You know, what what do you want to eat for dinner? We're talking, but then if it gets a little bit more substance to it, like we're talking about planning for the future, we're talking about finances, or we're talking about our careers and the next move, or you know something like that. Having a conversation about those particular things have different components
Mm-hmm.
that will qualify them as being like a quality conversation, because we've talked about issues before,
Mm-hmm.
but we haven't had quality conversations about some of these issues, because it's more like you said something, I said something, we really didn't have an understanding. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you had a point. Like, how do you define
Yeah.
what quality is? And especially in marriages, after a while, your conversations become redundant. How was your day? What the kids do?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody break anything? How many bills came?
Who
It's
let the dogs out?
who let the dogs out? Did anybody let the dogs out?
You change the cat litter.
Did you change? Get it right. It's the
Garbage goes
garbage go
out
out tomorrow. And so it's like, we did talk. No, but the whole quality.
Mm-hmm.
And were you about to say something? Your
Mm-hmm.
eyes always talk to me.
I'm just watching. They're supposed to.
They do.
They have to.
My mother is watching. We've always said, and maybe that's why I fight for this, and I'm intentional about it. We don't want to be the couple that Gary Chapman described in the book. When you go to the restaurant, he said you can always tell the couple that's been married opposed to the couple that's dating. And when we're out, you would think we're dating.
Yeah, and
we always
point that out.
We always point that out. Like, man, they're not talking.
And you know what's funny? Like, not funny, but I've noticed that, like, pre-COVID, we go out, we're talking, we kind of look around, and there are young couples
that don't talk to each other,
who are sitting at the table,
yes,
just like facing each other, sitting at the table, and they're not
on
talking.
Their phone, on their.
Yeah, I'm like, wow.
On their phones. It's like, no, and let me say, man, you reap what you sow. Because I went hard in my 20s and 30s, and maybe, not so much 40s. 40s I slowed down. I'm still in my 40s.
You want to warm up?
Oh, we can warm up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we can warm up the tea. Okay. But I'm talking about, I went hard early on in our relationship. You okay, baby?
Yes, making sure I didn't splash.
Thank you. That's enough. Thank you. You topped me off. Thank you. I went hard with my career, and I didn't know how to have balance. So if I went hard in one area, I slacked in other areas. Maybe most people do. I don't know. I still have to watch that and be mindful. But I went hard to the point of I didn't come home to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because I was working on multiple grants and building programs and
Mm-hmm.
all this kind of stuff, and just was confident that he and the kids would just be there. And that wasn't cool. And I didn't realize the sacrifice and how I sacrificed quality time until now. When I'm like, okay, my career is established. I'm building on top of the foundation that's already laid. You know, okay, I can be home by a certain time. And what he at? What you mean? At work. What? So I get it now. It's not cool. I'm sorry.
So it's all good. Sometimes you have to sometimes you have to experience, certain things, and I think God is funny like that He allows you to be put to do like kind of like a role reversal. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like talking about this, but you remember the extractions, the wisdom teeth, and all the pain I went through.
You do kind of like talking about it a little bit.
And she thought that she
stop.
thought I was being the
Tell
biggest baby.
Tell the truth. You like talking about it a little bit, don't you? Because you like to be able to just.
Actually, no. This was a good time to bring that up because I was just talking about role reversal, and sometimes it really helps to have experienced something that your partner went through to truly understand it.
Okay, give the example.
Well, and I think God is funny that way because I think it's like the places where you would struggle most to have empathy for your significant other.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the big strong man, the protector of the house, and here I am laying in the bed like, oh my God, my face is killing me. She thought I was the biggest baby in the world, and I'm like, no, this is not no like regular pain. Like I had 4 wisdom teeth pulled, and I got 4 dry sockets, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. If you ain't never had a dry socket before, you don't want it, but 4 of them,
mm-hmm. It was painful.
Yeah,
I think not to.
And then she got it. And then I think she had 1 or 2.
They're horrible.
Yeah, and then she got it, and she was like, "Babe, I'm so sorry," because she knew like I had double or triple because you had 1. Was it 1?
I had 1, but I think the reason why I get impatient, babe, with you a little bit is because you won't take medicine. So
I was taking medicine for that, and that Vicodin made me sick.
That's true. Okay, I'm sorry again.
Yeah, I forgive you. I forgive you. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I do.
But it's the perfect example.
It was a perfect example.
That is true. You really don't know until you go through it. Hey, Cent is watching me tell you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is good. It gives us actually this didn't really. Well, it gave some examples of some things that we could do this week. Words of affirmation was last week.
Mm-hmm.
Keep building on words of affirmation. Because sometimes people don't know that they need to be affirmed until they hear it. Yeah.
And then something else too, to kind of go along with the communication. He said somewhere in this chapter that like the average person spends 17 seconds listening intently before they start to
defend.
Yeah, before they start, formulating a rebuttal and that kind of thing. So I want to challenge you guys to get past that 17 seconds, and when you get to that 17-second threshold and you feel yourself, okay, I'm posing my comeback. I'm not going, I'm not going, let her get this point over on me. And it really is about like trying to listen and understand. So fight off that rebuttal phase and really try to listen and try to understand what your partner is trying to tell you.
And can I add to that, sir?
Sure.
Because as I read that, I thought also, you know what? And I did think about babbling brook as kind of like someone talking a lot. I don't know, because I talk a lot. Because sometimes I feel like you think I talk a lot. Don't answer that.
I just think you're more expressive than I am. And
yes, but sometimes if I feel like my expression comes off as babbling, which means anytime you hear my voice, it's like there she goes again. So maybe that's why I went to the whole talking a lot analogy.
No, but it's like, I mean, let's be honest. Like, men and women have different communication patterns.
True.
Like men talk, it's linear. We'll start at one point, blah 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 blah, and then and it's a period down the end of it. And it's a statement.
That's true.
Like women, you guys like speak in
listening.
layers, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you explain things, and it's kind of like a cyclical pattern. You rehash on certain points, zero back in. It's kind of like, writing a thesis. Okay, here's my point, and then you got your body, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got all of that stuff. Then you got your conclusion. Like that's how women put their conversation together. And like men, it's like a hypothesis and a statement. That's it. That's what you get from us. Like that's how we were socialized to communicate. Like, we're not used to talking about like and critically thinking about how we feel, much less like how do we express that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not making an excuse for us, but it's something that we definitely have to work on. So when we're sitting there kind of like, man, she just talked about some really deep stuff, and we trying to catch up and figure out how am I supposed to respond to that?
Because I'll ask you, I'm like, babe, were you listening? This is why, as I read that, and I thought about the babbling book as someone who was talking a lot, aka myself, I thought, in fairness, how about I not give a whole thesis and all of the chapters and stick to a little bit at a time? Like, instead of, if I know, based on Gary Chapman, after 17 minutes, people aren't listening. Then
17 seconds, yeah.
I said minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
But if you listen for 17 minutes before you're doing all right.
He did say seconds.
17 seconds.
Oh.
Which is not a lot of time.
It's not a lot of time. Yeah. And that is true. So after maybe 5 to 7 seconds, maybe we should just stop and take a breath and allow the other person to speak. So while you're saying men, maybe it takes longer for you to process, then maybe I shouldn't give you so much at once. Like now you look like you're processing and I'm giving you a whole lot.
No. I'm thinking about what you're saying. I mean that would be ideal in some situations when it's possible. But if there's something,
be intentional.
Yeah. I mean, but if there's something that requires you to kind of speak in detail and at length about something that requires it, like I don't feel like it's fair to you to make you like, stop, derail your train and be like, baby, are you okay?
Well, not are you okay, but just to stop, because we'll go on and on and on.
Mm-hmm. Beat the dead horse.
You're like, stop it. Let's take a couple comments and then our time is really up.
Yeah.
You want to read? Oh,
sure. Rebecca Allball, well, Sally, my words of affirmation are that you look beautiful today.
Oh, thank you. You know what? So another shameless plug. Rebecca Allball. I can't even say it.
Allball.
I didn't mean to butcher your name, Rebecca. That could be horrible. Anyway, Rebecca is a photographer. She has a photography studio here in the Champaign area. And I did a lovely photo shoot last week. Oh my God. She captured the fact that I am 45. And she captured my strength and made me feel so beautiful. And were you pleased? Were you pleased with her work?
I was very happy with the work. And I got tricked into participating too. So. It was a lot of fun though.
It was a lot of fun. Some pictures I will be able to show. Yeah.
Others.
There's a special treat for you.
Yeah, those are for me.
But we'll figure out a way for you. Well, we can put Rebecca's website, her link to Facebook in the comments. So thank you, Rebecca. What else here? Sean.
Freudian slip for the 17 minutes. 17 seconds. Yeah.
You know what? Hey, Sean. This has been amazing. So, okay, recap for next week as we prepare. It's not too late for you to get your book, 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. It really is a helpful little tool. If you did not already, it's not too late to go back and start your list Start adding to your tools of words of affirmation. Remember, put a sticker on the mirror, on the headboard, wherever.
Yep. Post-its, notes, whatever.
Absolutely. Words are important.
Words are important. Words are important.
Yes, they are. You is kind.
You is. I knew that was coming.
You is.
What movie was that from?
The Help.
The Help.
Woo.
He's kind.
Yes. For 1 week, keep a written record of our words of affirmation. We won't read through the whole thing again. This may even be online. We can look. But really just be intentional about affirming not just your spouse, and your friends.
Yeah, and you don't have to pick all of these.
Yeah.
Like pick one. If you can handle two, fine. But just like pick one and be consistent with that.
And I want to share a quick little tip that I do, because this is for anyone, individuals. You could do it for your spouse, but I do this for myself, and I've been doing it for years, and it always comes on time. So everyone orders something, and so what I do is whenever I order anything, it could be you're ordering Gary Chapman's book. It could be when the time comes, you'll order Uncle James green chili. It could be that you're ordering, hey, whatever, something from Amazon. Most times when you're about to check out, they ask if this is a gift for someone. Even if it's a household appliance, even if you're ordering paper towels and tissue, say yes. Put that you are sending a gift, but it's coming to you. Write a note to yourself. You'll be surprised that when you receive your package and you open your package and you see this note and you read it and it's made out to yourself, it more than likely may be just a word that you need to hear at the time. And so you may not always have someone around you to affirm you. You may not have a spouse. Your friends may not be available, but when you open up that package, no matter what it is, you see that note and you're saying, you are amazing. I'm grateful that you exist. You are the kindest and the sweetest. I thank God for your love. I'm making this up as we go right now. You are the light of the world. Your smile brings me joy. Just think about some things that maybe you want to hear. Mm-hmm. Maybe some things that you wish someone would tell you. Girl, you rocking that blouse today, or okay, I see those pounds, or okay, whatever. But that's just a little tidbit of how to encourage yourself.
Yeah, that's important. Because it's one thing for your significant other to support you.
I want to grab something.
But we're often like the biggest critics of ourselves, and even when you have somebody, telling you that that you're awesome, that's usually not what you're telling yourself. We find ourselves in these situations where, let's say there's a life situation that's kind of got you down, and there's somebody that you love in your corner, pushing you along, giving you those words of affirmation, trying to boost you up. But then, like, what we do to ourselves, we tend to, like, kind of almost cancel that out. We beat ourselves up.
Yeah.
So what she's talking about is build yourself up too.
Yeah.
So not only are you getting, words of affirmation from people around you and encouragement, you also have to encourage yourself.
Yeah, I went and grabbed a card. I don't know if you can see it, but over break, I ordered Garrett's popcorn. Well, we ordered Garrett's popcorn for a lot of people for gifts, and we decided to get one for ourselves. But I did what I do. I wrote a note to myself, and it says, "Happy 45th birthday, Sally K," in all caps, and a bunch of exclamation points. And then it says, "God created you to be a true force. You are a light unto the world that blaze trails for others to attempt. You, Sally K, are the standard. Thank you to every yesteryears, and cheers to your future of overflow. Not only will you not lack wealth in all forms will flow from you, and you will continue to bless others tenfold. In Jesus' name, I decree the blessing is so. Happy birthday, beautiful. And that was to myself. So the first time you saw it, you were like, what's this?
Yeah, I said, yeah, it's a note in there too, babe. And she was like, oh, I know, I wrote that to myself. I was like,
like, what?
oh.
So, yeah. All right. We are out of time. We're a bit over time. So thank you for letting me share my little notes. And I hope it blesses you all. We love you. Be good to yourselves this week, every day. Read the 5 love languages, catch up on words of affirmation, and also quality time. Next week, we will talk about love language number 3.
Receiving gifts.
Receiving gifts. I've got a sister who I think that's one of her top love languages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, receiving gifts. Hi, GC. Our GC bears on here. We love you.
Love you too, baby.
Yes. So, I know we're a bit over time. So, since we're over time, can I ask one request? We were supposed to pray last week and we didn't. But I feel like this week we need to pray. I started off earlier in the show talking about the historic week we had. Woohoo! Yes, I'm rocking my pearls. Absolutely. The Biden-Harris ticket, amazing. Just so many firsts that happened this week. You looking at me like, don't go there?
No.
Oh, okay. Because
I've been looking at you the whole show.
That is true. My mother is watching. Our child is watching. They know, though. They know. Hey, Eric. Bless you and your family as well. Babe, what we're doing is magical, and I know we're blessing people. We're told daily, and so that blesses us. But folks, not gonna be. Look at me. I start relaxing my tongue, didn't I? Because I'm getting ready.
Folks not gonna be what?
You know, it's supportive all the time. The enemy is not happy about this.
Right.
But we ain't scared of the enemy. So I wanted us to pray going into this upcoming week, not just for us, but to cover those who watch us, those who are blessed by us, to cover relationships, cover marriages, cover going into this week. Mm-hmm. That is just blessed, right?
Yeah.
You want to pray? I knew you were going to do that.
If it's on your heart, babe.
Okay. Well, I feel like I just prayed by what I said. Okay. All right. And we're going to end after that. Right. Heavenly Father, we thank you for another day and another opportunity to come together as husband and wife, as one unit, as friends, to give you glory. We are giving you glory by coming together and sharing our hearts and learning. Even after 20 plus years of marriage, we are still learning and growing together. We thank you that we've stepped out on faith. We are not perfect by any means, but we are staying faithful to your word and your promise, and we're trusting you along the way. God, we ask that you bless everyone under the sound of our voices, whether it be now or in the future. When they hear this, let it be an appointed time, God. Lord, you bless their situations, God. You cover every family that is connected to us, that is hearing this, God. You see and you know the need, God. Lord, this is the time of overflow, God, to receive seeds, to produce a harvest, God, of overflow, God. So we speak and we decree and declare overflow, God, in the name of Jesus, God. Lord God, you bless, and we thank you in advance for blessing the Carter household, for blessing Sippin Tea, for blessing all that we do. I personally thank you in advance for sending the right people, for sending the right staff, God. You've already seen the requests that are before you. So we thank you for it, God. We give you glory, God, because the requests unto you are simply yea and amen as believers. So, God, when we ask a thing of you, God, we believe in the moment and according to your word, the right now faith, it is done in Jesus' name, God. We give you glory, God. We give you glory, God. We give you glory in the name of Jesus. And it is so. Amen and amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Child, stop in the look.
Hot now.
Getting a little warm up in here. Yes, God. Yes, God. Yes, God. We cover you all. We bless you all. Cover us during the week as well. And we look forward to seeing you all next week with Sipping Tea with Sally K and my lovely co-host. See you all next week.